Okay, my instructional coaches and district leaders and school leaders, if you are working with educators of any kind, you're working with leaders to coach them, you're working with teachers to coach them, this model is excellent. And I've adapted it from, I think, what it initially was, but the GROW model you may have heard of. You may be thinking, I use it, or I've used it, or I need to be more specific in how I use it. I really need these coaching calls to be transformative because nothing is getting done. Or I'm trying my best and giving these suggestions and there's just no time to implement. So how do we make sure that we're taking action on the coaching calls, and how to make sure that each one is meaningful to both you as the coach and to whoever you're coaching? I'm going to walk you through a template. I'm going to show you exactly what I use and we're going to get down to it. Here we go. Here is my actual coaching call template. So anytime I have a coaching call with someone, this is what I use. I always put the reminder of the visions. The very first call, you should very clearly have the coachee describe what their vision is. What is it they're looking for in terms of success? What does it mean to them? How would they measure it? How do they know they've kind of arrived at this place? Add it to the top of every single one. And I like to highlight different things that feel relevant or that I want to bring us back to if I feel like we've gotten away from it. Wonderful place to just see it right up front. Then I like to include my 4-stage transformation because these are the elements I always want to make sure I'm touching on. So as a coach, it really focuses me and it focuses our conversation. You may have something like this for yourself. Mine are made up of kind of mindset, pedagogy, assessment, and content. So when I'm coaching coaches, for example, I encourage us to focus on one of these elements so that they can identify the teachers they're coaching. They need support in this. So let's think about how to support them in this area. Then I have my meeting date. I have a quick maybe 5 to 10 well-being check-in. So this is like 5 to 10 minutes of an hour-long coaching conversation, maybe 5 minutes for a 30-minute, but you want to just make sure you are building that relationship. You're also modeling how to build that relationship, especially if you're coaching coaches who are working with teachers. You want to make sure that you're modeling that as well. But also for teachers, you're modeling how to do that in terms of when they are doing one-on-one check-ins with students as well. Time is finite, but we want to make sure we have that human connection. Action plan, we want to see specifically before we get into what's going on today or what are we coaching on today, we want to see what exactly did you do from the last time. So we might scroll down and actually look on the same document. I like to put all of the meetings on the same doc. So we would actually scroll down and further on this document, we would see the previous meeting notes and we would see the concrete next step and what the evidence of success would be. So what actions did you take and what evidence did you collect? What went well, what didn't, glows and grows. That is going to be the next maybe 10 minutes or so of your conversation. And then you're gonna say, okay, what is my goal for the next week? So if you're meeting weekly or bi-weekly, next time I see you, what is the thing that needs to happen? What are our options? This is a really fun part for me. I love kind of this brainstorming together of what could we possibly do. Let's list all of them, even the things that seem really far out there. What are all the things we could do? Then let's think about the reality. We have these tools at our disposal. We have this particular dynamic that we have to be aware of. We have this particular event coming up and we want to make sure we target that. Once we go through that reality, we kind of filter all the options through there and then we pick one way forward. And here is the kicker. A lot of people do those 4 steps. They don't do the next ones. We want to name what is at least one, I would say a max of 3, concrete next steps, the actions that coachee is going to take. And this is the huge differentiator from typical coaching. What is the evidence of success? How will I know that I was successful in implementing this is what you want to ask the coachee to think about. They are going to bring you back evidence of this. Ideally, even if you're coaching coaches, ideally you want this evidence to be student work. So if you're coaching a coach, their concrete next step is to work with this teacher to build out this lesson. The actual evidence of success is not the teacher's lesson plan. The actual evidence of success should be how the students responded. A piece of student work, a quote from a student during that lesson, a survey result from students about how that lesson went, student voice, the student experience, that should be centered in our evidence of success because that's what matters. Then we'll tell everybody when the next meeting date is. We'll get clear on that. And the next time we're going to check in that action plan around that next step and evidence of success. How did it go? Glows and grows, all the things. So that's the exact template that I use for my coaching calls. Use it, get excited. And if you are a school leader or a leader who is looking to try to get in these coaching calls more, you want to carve out space for the time to do this work. I think that is critical. I have heard 50%, 60%, 75% of your time should be actually in classrooms or in coaching conversations with educators to make sure this work is happening. But things happen. We have really busy schedules. Our calendars get really full. So Make sure you tune in next week, because next week I'm actually going to talk about how to create the space for these critical conversations around coaching. So get excited for next week. The link in the description goes right to this template, so you can go ahead, grab it, and edit it. Use it this week. If you love this video, you're going to absolutely love my curriculum bootcamp. In just 2 days, we have a live experience that helps your department create feminist, anti-racist curricula that challenges, affirms, and inspires all students. We also have a self-paced course option for teachers or departments who want to go at this at their own pace. Check it out. I'll link to it in the notes below.